It's so frightening and so touching. What a surprise package. Men should be humble. Onye meji. Oh, tu es chargé que tu es tombé. Tu sais plus où commencer. En bas des crises, viens voir les conflits. Tu n'as plus de travail. Tes projets sont tous tombés. Tu as payé tous tes précieux. Certains disent que c'est la fin des temps. Mais moi je dis que c'est le bon temps. Que notre Dieu ne laisse rien pour rien. Tout ce qu'il fait sont toujours bons. Il suffit de quoi? Élève-toi et marche. Là c'est pas un plat.
Hello, good evening once again, and good day, depending on where you are watching me from. I remain darling boy for Jesus. Yeah, as I have promised, and as it can be seen on the headline of my broadcast. Yeah, there are really things that are Wooster, really Wooster than what we think that is the problem today. There are really things that are worse than Corona, worse than crisis that brings all this COVID all about. Yes. As you all know, and as I have promised that I will already explain a little bit something that is worse than Corona. All this while I would have been and some other posts that I would have also intervened on their summarizations, like I said, concerning redressing ourselves in spite of all that's happened. I really left all this month as my month of jubilation and celebration. As I also announced, but it's unfortunately that it can't be celebrating while others are lamenting something gone astray, and beside that, all this while many things have been stopping our programs based on the studio and based on some of the activities. But I thank God in all returns all victorious to the glory of God. It's those that are around me, you understand. It's never been easy. All this while, but by His grace, here we are. So, to start with, things that are worse than Corona is so visible, so large, that sometimes we may not know, but there are the things that are running us down, not even the things we think of. You all can see today that we don't have leaders. We don't have guidance. We don't have those that seems to be in charge. And it's so painful. It's so hard. Because it does nothing than to worsen situations. Yes. Let me start from our leaders. For everything, like I do say, I said many times, everything always starts from the head. Yes. I don't know the particular area you are leading. And when we talk of leaders, everybody that is controlling at least 2 or 3, even a human being, even if it is your wife at home, you have to count yourself as a leader. You have to count yourself as a leader. That's why, being in position of any leading, you have to know and you have to cross-check yourself. Are you capable? Have I been able to lead myself before coming out to lead anybody? It's a question that we ought to ask ourselves. For today, our leaders are messing up. Leaders in all dimensions, in all sectors, they are really messing up. I don't care about what is happening. I don't care about concerning just listening to the song that is still going. I continue playing this song. It's not. I don't know why I use this song always as one of my favorite songs. For those who don't know, I'm sorry, French. Even though my French was no good as, but I do choose that song because it takes about. It's so deep. It's so deep. Yes. It's so deep, this song. And the major part of it that I really used to take from it is being afraid of death is something that I think I have wiped it away from my memory. For no matter what, death is waiting for everybody. Everybody must die. The issue or the thing that we ought to be afraid of, I normally say that it's just sin. And when you are afraid of sin, meaning being far from sin, remember the devil has nothing to do with you. For you to die is glory to God. And for you to live is glory to God. Being afraid of sin, death is a waste of time. For whatever you are afraid of, continue pursuing. So I don't care about what may happen or what may go on. If I'm in the line of doing what I ought to do by the grace of God, for example, saying the truth, or protesting against evil, or saying anything that is good to say, doing what is good to say, and in the process being dealt with or whatever, glory to God. You see, this is the reason why I want to a little bit talk to our youth concerning what is happening in my very good country, Nigeria. You see, yeah, our youth, I'm really protesting with you guys. Absolutely. If you really watch my last post that says, for a victory's sake, you need the heart of an attacker. Listen. If you go through that post, you will understand the end. Where I made some comment concerning attackers, knowing his limits. You see, for attacker can go off track or cross his limit, and it will bring the failure from achieving what he is there for, or what he is playing, or what he is fighting for. It can bring quarrel, it can bring anything, the red card, and every hard labor will be of a waste. Why am I saying this? We youth, we are protesting very good because it is beyond here. It is too much on us, on our neck. We don't talk about our old men because the time it is our period, our time. The little time that remains for us is being mismanaged by our leaders, so-called leaders of all sectors. You see, and we have the right to protest, which we did. But I don't know how the protest go astray. You don't mean the protest you will not be school, you will not be disturbed a little bit or whatever. How did you go astray? It's something that is so strange. Out of protest, people are not destroying things. Doing that, doing the other ones. Another occur. A very hurtful attack. You see, and even though we were attacked before we start misbehaving, we also do our hurt to ourselves because what we are damaging is our things. We ought to know our things. We ought to know our things. For all those things that we damage is our things. Imagine with all that is happening today with the level of knowledges and everything comes to us. Warning the police stations, all these government areas. It's our thing, our money, the country's money. None of these politicians build all this or make those things with their particular money or their own wealth. It's the people's money that they make the budget of those things. So why you spoil those things? For example, the police places. You see, who among the police that has the money to build those police stations? Or even though they have, who is ready? The project must surely come from the government. You understand? Which is you and me. We are making the task. Sometimes our parents are working in some areas. Sometimes their salary are reduced. Their salary are whole, not to give, not to pay. It's some of this money that they use to build something that we are destroying. Can't you understand that this police, what we did is a way that because these police stations, those police, they will be paid even double. What we did not hinder any of their payment. You understand? You see, we know those police are duping our money. Those criminals that even building out of the notice of the government, because according to the law, there are some rate of money that a one working on the government, working for the government should have. There are things that they are all 10 that they shouldn't have. They should have not. Those things that we can hurt to tell them that it's our money that they thief. That place does not, we cannot rebuild it for them. You see? But when we go and destroy our things, that is waste. We are wasting our own particular things. We are even destroying the working place of our parents, our people, our providers, our colleagues, and other things. And I don't know. Yes, we go to protest, not what we go for. But remind you that in the midst of the attackers, for this now is not only one attacker, but this protest contains many attackers. So there are attackers who knows their guideline that those who don't know. Maybe those who don't know have succeeded in destroying things or to destroying lives. It's so strange and so bad. Apart from that, protesting, saying that this is not good. What you guys doing is not good. Protesting answers, yeah, they are misbehaving. They are now chewing above what they can swallow. It's true. Protesting against the bad government that is so rampant, not only in Nigeria, all over the world today. So much good. Do know how God has stretched all this. And now, to prove us that we don't have good leaders, no a good idea, no leader today is willing to surrender, is willing to come and find peace where there is problem. Since the days of Adam, the proudness that have not left human being continue torturing the human being, that the leaders today could not be able to learn anything from our good leader Jesus Christ, who is ready to give all that we shall be set free. The leaders today are not ready to swallow their pride. Leaders today are not ready to lead the people. When I talk about the leader, remember I said the leader in all sectors. Fathers, parents, mothers, even pastors. Oh, that side is all over. The presidents, so-called leaders, all of them, including the one that seems so silent, all these so-called patron that have destroyed careers that nobody knows. None of them is ready to lead, to guide the people. None of them is ready to bring out the good idea on how to follow things. Even though those people are destroying things, how can you order the military men? Okay, the military men also you are trained. What is different that you are trained to hold gun with those who we are not trained? Since you don't know how to shun someone with a gun, instead all you know is to kill. You couldn't find the leg to shoot, to target that, the hand to correct you that are making mistake. Somebody that you killed, you corrected him. What did you do? You just killed him. A killing that you couldn't offer to Boko Haram. Even killing Boko Haram did not do anything, because anybody that you kill have nothing to say, have nothing to suffer. He just gone just like that. If you that kill is the one that is even wounded, because you have killed a soul that you must pay for, you must give account of. What shall you offer you to kill a soul? It's better that you give somebody it's something that he will never forget. You want them in a way that you never, even the generation to come will see him in that condition, and yes, it reminds him of a period like this when he was doing this or that caution the young ones, but you go on killing and nobody knows what to say, how it goes. Imagine what difference did you guys make? What difference with everybody carrying gun on target? I see you kind of bullet that passed through someone's belly and it's so shattered. All these things is selfishness. You see, unable to know the exact thing to do, the action. Even the commander, you couldn't tell them how to. Just go on shooting this way to the extent. And when do you go on and kill somebody? What do you think that you are coming to the situation you are getting it worse? And now you people are threatening all sector. What kind of threat? I want you guys to know it. That thing that is hotter than corona is about to happen the most. Because if all things like this continue with a good idea, I promise you guys that you guys shall finish to raise, to have, to see in full large. Yes, I know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter the age. You see, it's so bad. But my fellow youth, please, indeed, we have now seen that we don't have good leaders. We have much role to play. We have much role to play. Because those people, some leaders and guardians, they are all our parents. For yes, it is true that charity begins at home. We have a lot to pray right from our various places. Don't mind if you are persecuted, if you are killed, if you are, what do you call it? If you are rejected as some big house, you are saying or you are disagreeing with what is wrong and bad. Don't mind. For when we know that God is in control, we learn how to do good in spite of what it will cost us. Yes. Leaders all over the place in the house of assembly, occupying all the whole places. Youth have school in a level that's wow. When someone imagine all he passed through and see himself unable to work, no work, unemployed, he's obliged to mess up. He's obliged to act like a mad person at any tinkle, any twinkle of tail. I don't know those who their parents have occupied those places. You can't just be there eating the money your father is bringing without letting your father know that what he's doing is not good. All these old men with the gray head fooling in the assembles, house of assembly, all these areas that some youth need to be occupied by now. If they are your father, your parents, start from there, their house. Question them. Where are some of their comments that we are the leaders of tomorrow? When will this leading of tomorrow start? When shall we occupy those places that meant for us? Why have they decided to make it their permanent place? Retirement of today are being given according to choices. Imagine president, after many years he come back again. Does that mean that there are no youth that can be equipped to take charge, that can be support to go on? How can the system of olden days became possible to manage the system of today? Yeah. Once the president should tolerate not. Boko Haram is terrorizing. Don't know how this vote goes. Now you have come. Nothing have changed. Boko Haram still remember Boko Haram. I thought your president would have stopped Boko Haram. Boko Haram still occupy the places they occupy. Nothing have changed. Even it seemed that it was kind of a plan to weigh the one that is leading down, because the president did not stop, people did not capture Boko Haram. We were just seeing things the way it's happened. It's just like a film. Nothing have changed. The situation of things have become more worse than nobody can be able to endure anymore. The youth are not feeling good anymore. So please, the youth, let's start condemning things right from home with our fathers. In those posts they have occupied many days, and those evil they are doing that we know. But just because it's favoring us, you're unable to say. For the more you keep quiet, your own turn, someone is duping you on somewhere, and quietness is continuing keeping. That is just the truth. Yeah, the protest, without being told, you will see that some of the children of these big men that have seen that things have corona have changed today because they are the one that cannot support the situation. As for the poor masses, they have been addicted with such suffering, bearing, eating one square meal in a day. But all this one that their father just lost their job incidentally, just like that, they couldn't bear it up. And whenever they started a protest in a plural way, this way, all these poor men will now join them to show them that they have been waiting to run this mad for a long time. Yes. For things turn around, but people don't know. So if you are there, or if you have a father that is in a very good place blocking others, if you don't say things, if you don't go around, if you don't make impact, it will affect you. The turn is coming for everything turns around. Glory be to God today, just like the country we are. Some of these people that has been making money there, they only know to send their children to higher schools with money that can help people that are just spending money with their children. Glory be to God that the poor man sees today are the one that's in good position, because when there is no money to go further for school, they go on learning handwork, and today the handwork is what is paying. It's what is paying after school, all these things. Those ones who don't have work for their fathers with their colleagues are not ready to leave the post for them. Something that is worse than corona and crisis, which is very, very bad. Youth will have to react in many ways. We have to learn how to say, this is very, very bad. I agree with you no matter what it will cost you. But when doing it, know your limits. Yes. Know your limits. So, that one is by the way. You see, and for our leaders, like the president today, will have a president that wanted to die on the throne. It's so disgusting. What is there with the president? What is their problem? What are they profiting in that presidential seat? Somebody like I used to use him as an example because I know him before he went to that president. Somebody like Goodwill Jonathan. He was a good president, I said. Even though he was not, but he's just a little thing can qualify you to what maybe you are not qualified. The way he stepped down for peace to reign, which is hardly to see with other presidents today, have given him a name. And he have changed him from getting old because he immediately he run quickly old. But today when you see him, and now what he did have given him a rank that is more than that post we are talking about. But still, all these presidents that don't know if their heart have been eaten by ants or what, I don't know. Refuse to be good for nothing, sir. What is there with this? Is it money that you wanted to do? You have good blood. What do you need again? Okay, I understand something. Maybe you don't want your secret to be noticed. You don't want your secret to be confidential. You don't want your secret to be judged. You're evil. You don't want to go to prison. Good. Make use of your senses. You can pass a deal. You can pass a deal and make a deal agreement of something that maybe I'm coming down, I'm leaving the throne, but let no one question me anything. It will be a coward. Let nothing to be accused me. Let you. We are ready to agree on that. It is saying that you just step down for peace to reign. For nothing can create peace than for you to see that okay, for peace. I've never seen a country thing like this happen. A president say, okay, for peace to reign, I step down. Let's look for another person that you will see peace. No president is ready to do that. Nobody is ready to do that. sacrifice his post for peace to reign, just like Jesus did. We have leaders today that are not leaders. A leader that was shown to us as an example, washing the leg of others, who is there to serve the leaders today. What are you people doing? Those you are leading are badly positioned. You people are just, I don't know. These things are worse than corona, worse than crisis. Occupying all the whole places without leaving a little vacant for the youth. The days have become hard. You people are being paid a huge amount of money. But I can't do with it. Why can't you leave some of these posts and let this little one comes, the younger one to come and share all this big money? It can help. Instead of you going every day by day, hanging and duping all this money, misbehaving with it. If I can't see good things some of you do with all this money, building houses. What? Corrupting your children that could not be able to replace you, that could not be able, because the way you have corrupted them with money. It's so strange. All this. God will judge all of you. God will judge all of you of all this. As for the protests, we continue protesting. Yes, as an attacker, we continue forcing, penetrating until what is good is done. Stop fighting us with all sorts of all this and that. Let the youth not be afraid of dying. Let's protest in a clear mind and what is good, and see what the judge will impose on us if we are doing the wrong things. Push us to the wall. That one is by the way. And for the area that people sometimes don't see, because leaders, sometimes all these small areas that are neglected are the worst part. We have bosses, so-called different they call patron, oga, masters in areas, being heartless. After many years of services to you, you people don't have any remorse to the ones that have served under you. You don't have any single thought, any good help for such people. As a youth, somebody will serve you up to getting old in your place. You can have a woman's sympathy. Sometimes you throw them away with so much accusation, even though sometimes it's something they did. But for the fact your shop, your business, your doings did not fall down, how can you allow one who work with you to fail? Not even that he fell on his own, but you are just the head of everything that you don't want to see in progress. People like you need to be touched by the youth also. All these bad masters, they have wasted people's talent, careers, distract them with so much excuses. Greedy. Some youths today fell up, couldn't, because of their evil masters. Which is very, very bad. And in this area, some of the youth also that you have been able to, you have been given a little. For in my language, there's adage that said, you sit before you balance. You have no seat, but you want to balance. You want to cope with those guys that have been working for a long time. You have to cope with those guys that you don't know how they are making their own. Immediately you have go engage with a marriage. You can go engage with a girlfriend. You can go engage with things that will make you for, and after you begin to accuse who. This is when we are a problem of ourselves. A problem of ourselves. For the youth today, they just wanted to do like everybody. They don't want to do anyhow. They just want to grab it without knowing that you have to sit before you balance. And this have go a lot to run some of our youth today. It's worse than Corona. Because some of us are in problem that we ourselves, we put ourselves into it. You have not eaten. You go engage someone again in your life. For you people to eat today and not to eat tomorrow. When will you come up with something? Even the women, you will see a young one that have not up to. You have begun to come in to distract without knowing that tomorrow you two of you are falling down. And you think that when you just destroy that life or throw him down and left, that will be well with you. It will not. Some people have been called in a working place that you are called, glory be to God, but you are not in a working place with that woman sympathy. Things that are worse than Corona and crisis. It's so painful. For some of the things that we are acquiring today, that have been choking us today, are caused by our own self. Yes, the issue of computer in Nigeria, my country, places, laptop issue, what do you call it again? Yahoo and all these things. Some of you, masters and all this evil government have pushed the youth into it. When someone finished and couldn't have anything to do, you guys are the one that have pushed all these young ones into this. And today you see, sometimes God allows certain things for a reason. Those guys you did evil, you have seen they have turned up with some certain things, and now you couldn't talk. I've been a part of his life. You couldn't. And finally he make it without you. It's so shameful. Because nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. Some fathers, some parents are like caging their children not to see, not to open eyes, because they are still in the wayward life. Wayward life. Some father, you will see a father, a grown-up father with many age, nightclub and other things, and he's hiding from his children, hiding some certain thing from the children, or preventing the children from certain freedom, for them not to come out to discover the life is still living, without knowing that with time it will disturb. Because when the opportunity is there, nothing will remain the same. When the child could have catch up something, grow with his age group, you were there trying to prevent for your evil not to be seen, hindering that boy to express, to grow, those you to grow, just to protect your evil, to continue in your evil. Now that things have turned around, your son don't have anything doing, something tangible could not catch up with the tangible thing. But this is why that you have opportunity, and you already send him to a place, a country that would have helped the family. Even your young brothers, you would have helped. You couldn't help him. They couldn't participate in his life. Now two of all of you has fallen. Things have turned bad. Two of you are like seeing each every day. You don't feel ashamed of that. But there was a time you could have, at least he would have been a helper, a hand, drawing you up when you are falling. Out of greedy. Nothing you want to do again without knowing that whatever man soweth, that he shall reap. It's so bad. All this system of things is killing our economies, killing our living today, destroying areas. What again? Every day by day, things getting worse. Every day by day, things getting worse. Here come in this country today, this day, it seems that the church is their problem. How can the church be your problem? How can the church be your problem? In all the period, the season, the things of God in days past, when there was problem or whenever there is problem, people come to God and seek for solution. For it is in God we can find solutions. But today, instead of coming to God, the people are against worshiping God, closing church up, sending militaries to come and block the church. Couldn't send many to come and block the thieves in the street. It's for people not to go and worship God. Imagine that. The bank is still working. Market, God is only the church, a place of worship, bringing cause in the nation. What type of leaders do we have today that cannot have a reference for God, the creator of the whole universe? Everybody can worship God in their place, but there are those who have not addicted, who have not been, those characters have not been correct, forgotten that the youth, the young ones today, as they go hand in hand with their parents and all these things, they become part of them. And when it's not part of them, they have learned the wayward life. And when it's their life, is the government and the population that suffer it. When things will start, we don't know. When we begin to dig a hole that we will later fall in it, we don't know. Yes, they create, like in Nigeria, they create the SARS to stop the Yahoo and all these guys. But when they were deep in the hole, leaving those young guys unemployed after schooling of many things, leaving them without it, and now they have employed the SARS. And sometimes the worst that they don't even know that if not these guys in Nigeria, this crisis would have been off ahead, because you can see these the ones, they are the one turning up in Nigeria, making things happen, because the government was nothing was coming out anymore. Those ones that society go outside, they are the ones sending things that is turning in the country. Now, out of the jealousy of the government, because the government knows. When we talk about the government is strong because of the money. And some people who have succeeded in having this idea have dominated the government with the money and using those money, that sense, to block others not to come up to them. That's why sometimes some government, they are beginning to lay their eyes on the church because they see that the church is progressing. When they see that the church is progressing, people can be talking of tithe and other things. Because when the church tomorrow has money, just like in Nigeria today, I know the governments, no matter what will happen, they have a maximum respect for the churches because the men that are the caliber men that you have now, at least some of the pastors have been among those who can. And that is why the reason why they are fighting the church, so that those progress, those level will not be achieved, so that they can continue to dominating in all area. Those who have succeeded to dominate money, for obviously money is the root of all evil. No matter that the government we talk about, it's all about is the money, and that's why they are working all hard. Any person, anywhere that money that is growing, coming, they just want to squash it down. You guys have raised those guys. They have opened eyes now. And you people are coming back in this way to use the man of this house and to just stop them. The state is wasting up time. We all know what is right, and sometimes we pretend. We stand in our evil, that evil shall multiply. Let there be retirements in all sectors, even in the church, even in the churches. Yeah, the government could not be able to hope or to have confidence on the church for the fact the church is also today, like what happened last time, the church leaders against church leaders, fathers criticizing one another. Then in the midst of all these critics, if the country have a problem, who can be go to for a solution? For the fact this one is doing is not admired or it's not accepted, this one do it. Quarrel among us. How can it be possible to come to you at the church of God? For the fact among you there have not been a tangible solution, there have not been a tangible result. How can it be? The same proud all over. It's so bad. It's so bad. But all I have to say is this. Wherever we are, especially the youth, let's learn to say no to whatever that is evil. Starting from our fathers. Let's start from our house, our particular dwelling place. Supporting evil will never end there, for it go viral. Yes, for it's so bad what that is happening these days. So much bad. Our leaders are misbehaving. Leaders in all sectors, they are misbehaving, and they are pushing the youth to the wall. The youth today has many things to face. One grown up at the age of 30, 25, you don't just know where to start. Sometimes out of I don't know what to do, the blood to dash into sometimes marriage, sudden marriage that they even worsen the situation. You have never eat, you come up with young ones to what? And the parents sometimes with this ideology of one that will replace you in what condition? Replace you with what? Replace you in doing what? Being on the road, being one of the kidnappers, thief of tomorrow. Just because nothing more to do. Someone that will represent you. Represent you on what? This ideology have gone on causing things worse than corona. How can you without employment, without work, you go on to acquire a woman, you go on to giving children anyhow in all these conditions? Are you killing yourself or you? Who do you want to create all these things for? You sit down before relax. You just want to stand up and relax. You will just fall down. Don't allow those who want you to be mocked at you, still mock at you. Let's know what and do. Let's do. Let's find anything possible that is good to do and do it as if it depends on us and believe in God. That it depends on Him. It shall be well with our soul. Let's help ourselves since the leaders are not helping us. For whatever a man soweth, that he shall reap. And I pray that all the evil men, those who is so bad, all these elders occupying places that don't want the younger ones to rise. With some of these ones that I know that even they are looking for one to worship them before they allow. Nobody will worship you guys. Listen, okay? For it's only God that will be worshipped. Sometimes people have served you many years just because of selfish reason. You deny him. You deny him of what he's supposed to. Whereby you are in your stupid ways, but God is still having mercy on you. Excuses. What a wicked world.
Created with free version for non-commercial use. Created with free
I pray
version
may
for
all
non-commercial
evil men this day be paid with their evil. It's so touching. Nobody knows tomorrow. Why is people these days being happy of letting go of some certain things for the good of one another or for the good of another? Pinning up your leg, you pinning there for that one not to rise. But I know you not God. You have to be doing things these days A mindset and the notice that God is involved. God is in control. I don't know who may have been around you, who may have been torturing you, who may have been the reason why maybe one thing or the other. He have to. He did not such specs or whatever. But go on further on. Especially my flow you. Further on in whatever your hand find doing. With a heart looking on God. With a mindset that God is in control. He will surely prove to you that He's in control. I'm a living witness. And when one knows that, no matter what it takes, no matter what it may cost you, you will surely turn up to testify that really God is in control. For He turns things around. But don't let go of those good acts that He depends on you to do. Learn to do what you want others to do for you. Life is life. When we acquire that it is good for each other and not for you alone, don't deny another one's to live. Don't deny another one's his right. Don't deny another one's his achievement, his goal, his focus. Some of you have young ones in your place, maybe they are not your children. Don't just focus on what they will do for you. Focus sometimes on what you will do for them. There is certain age one can be able to come up to. Even if he is your whatever. Try to imagine what he can be able to do. What is his talent? What have God put it on him? Work on his dream. You never know what it will be tomorrow, or he or she may be tomorrow. Don't just focus on you alone. For whatever you have to do may end tomorrow. The person that you help to do may be a part of your life. Things that are worse than corona. Pray. The way we handle our fellow ones, the way we overshadow, the way we cover others not to. We just continue looking only the government, while by the leaders in their small areas, the organs, the patrons, the church, they've been against a member just like that. You come in to take the church. What do you think about that? Are you the honor of the church? That's why sometimes when I see some of them, but they don't have faith. They pretend they have faith. Because when you have faith in God, you know that God is in charge of His church. You know that God is in control. And when you know this, the anxiety will depart from you. You will let go. Do all that is dependent on you to do and leave God to handle your church. For the church of God is marching forward. The gate of hell shall not prevail. Nobody fight against the church. As we are praying and the government continue like in this country to hinder the church of God, they are playing with fire. They are playing with fire, laying calls on themselves. And sometimes I don't blame because some of these fake pastors they are distracted. Because they have gone a long way, discovering many of them. Because no one finger touches the oil. It infects all. May God arise May God arise and avenge in a massive way, for things are going out of hand. Let the God of Elisha begin to operate like never before. Oh, let his kingdom come and let his will be done, for things are going out of hand. People are suffering. People are lamenting every day. New cases. But I remind you guys, know that is the end of the time. My first broadcast today is such that we all should not be surprised of this. If you're surprised,
Created
that
with free
means
version for non-commercial
you have
use.
been far from the
Created
world.
with free version for non-commercial use.
For the world which was God was cleared in many ways, and all this in times like this. That's why I continue saying, don't be afraid of dying, but be afraid of sin. God bless you. My last post is very, very important, please. Make sure we digest it today. I thank God for a moment like this, and I thank God for many, many programs at heart. I pray for our country, I pray for our nation, I pray for our leaders, and I pray the most for the youth. May God help us in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Thanks.
Le monde est touché, et c'est bon. Ils sont où? Qui va par la place de Dieu? Ne ment pas. Et vous, pour vos confiances, où sont-ils? Le monde est touché, mais avec Dieu, il a touché le soir. Lève-toi et marche. Lève-toi et marche.
Created with free version for non-commercial use.